Hey guys, welcome to MAT143p, P for Python. This is your week one mission brief. Mission brief is pretty much, I'm going to go over week one, what we're going to cover, and anything that you need to know to get through the lessons. I'll usually start off on this splash page right here. Makes the most sense because this is where everything is at. So what I would do first if I were you is watch the lecture videos. So with the lecture videos, we have lecture notes that go along with the videos. Like if you click lecture intro to percents here, you'll get into the lecture notes. These notes, you can write on them. It's a fillable PDF. It'll just go over the same thing that the video is covering with the topics for the lecture. And that way you'll learn the actual math. There's a video and lecture notes this week with intro to Python because we're using Python as a calculator and an overall tool for organization in this class, and I want to get you acclimated to Python. It is by no means a Python class. This is a 100% math class, but since we are using Python as the calculator, and if you never had experience with it, the lecture videos and the weekly labs will help you to get acclimated to using Python for the course. Then, of course, you have your lesson labs, which are interactive labs that you use on the same site. So you just click in here. This is introduction to percents. You'll press the next button, go through the exercises inside these boxes. You can answer. If you're correct, they'll say correct. If you're incorrect, you'll get a hint or they'll tell you, try again. But this is pretty much how to use the site, basic website. And you'll have one or two labs, maybe three labs during the week, depending on how difficult the concept is. Will give you a lot of help, a lot of work. There's even a workbook. For this week in the workbook, the pages that you're worried about, well, let me scroll up because I was working in here before. So here's your Python Math 143 workbook. There's an intro here. These are your learning objectives for the unit, week by week. The introduction to Python. It says Linux here. Don't worry too much about that. This is a beta course, right? This course is in beta, so I tweaked it so it doesn't matter if you're Windows or Linux. I originally was going to design it for Linux, but Windows works perfectly fine. So you're going to get your intro to Python in the workbook, and there's also going to be an intro to percents, just this little blurb here. So I wanted to make that separation. The lab that you're required to do in the workbook for the week starts right here. Purpose of this lab, blah, 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 this Python lab. So this is the lab that you're going to do. You're going to be using basic Python to learn the syntax of the calculator, how you have to set up problems and equations. It's not like a regular calculator, so you learn the difference here. And also, we'll be using graphs in this class, like how to analyze information off of bar graphs and circle graphs, scatter plots. So we'll need to build them and analyze them. We'll teach you how to build them. And this lab helps you to get your head wrapped around the basic concepts of building a plot, right? And then you have questions about percents. Same things that we covered in the lecture. These are some questions to help make sure that you understand the concepts. And you'll go down to, I believe, page 10 here. Yeah, because then starts the charts and graphs, and that's not for this week. So you're required just the first 10 pages in the workbook, get you through the week. Once you do the workbook, you'll have a homework assignment. The homework assignment is usually a themed assignment where we'll ask you questions about a specific theme. This week, I believe you're in a network facility, in a data center, and there's something that's off, and we have to do the percentage. How much is it off? By what percentage? Why is it off? And what's the determination? These are scenarios that you will run into if you're working in the field. This class is designed so that we can get acclimated to the math that's in the field, versus your child is 20 pounds and he needs medicine that's 26 milligrams per kilogram. We get that, but it's not relevant to our field. So everything this week's going to be relevant to cybersecurity, networking, and forensics. And then once you do all that, you did your lecture videos, you watched your homework, and you did your workbook assignments. You worked through the lesson labs assignments. You'll be ready for your lab assignment. There's a walkthrough video, and then there's your lab. So when we get to the lab, this is your Python lab for 143. That's the lab for the week. And in here, it's similar to the lab that we did in the workbook, but it just goes into a little more detail. And you'll use your Python as a calculator. You have to put the right syntax in there so that you can get the questions correct. I already did a walkthrough video, so I'm not going to go through how to, submit this lab, but, just showing you how it looks. And then you're going to be making a graph. You'll actually make your own graph. You'll plot the graph. It'll come out, you'll put the commands in there, and you should get something that looks similar to this. And you'll write your report in here. So it's an interesting lab. Best of luck getting through this week. There's a bit of stuff to get through, but it's all basic stuff to get through this class, nothing difficult at all. If you have any questions, if you have any problems getting through any of these parts, we have a dedicated email for the course. You can use that just to contact me, and I'll get you squared away as best as I can. I wish you guys the best of success in this course and looking forward to it. Seriously, I hope I can teach you some quantitative literacy. Good luck again. Take care.